Hi, this is Jason Dasher with Capital Solutions, badcredittruckleasing.com. We specialize in providing lease purchase financing for people with less than perfect credit. I just want to put that out there because I don't want to confuse anybody. What we're going to talk about in this video is about leasing in general, the good and the bad of it. There's good stuff and bad stuff. The bad stuff, what we're going to talk about is, especially in the trucking industry, there is a problem with undisclosed residuals. To this day, I don't know how that happens. People will sign into these truck leases. They have a really great payment, you know, a $1,200 payment or something crazy on a $100,000 truck. 3 or 4 years go by, they need 50 grand to buy the truck. That's not a good day. And they call us looking for financing out that balloon payment, but that's another video. They either didn't read the paperwork or there's companies out there shafting people. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Anytime you go into a truck lease, read it front to back. Do not miss a letter because it can ruin your day if you don't do that. Sometimes they won't have a figure in there, by the way. You have to look for verbiage like fair market value residual or track lease or what are some of the others? They don't necessarily mention a number or a percentage, okay? If it were me, I'd spend the $300-400 and have a lawyer read the lease agreement before I signed it. That's the way you do that. Most leases do not allow for an early payoff. Ours does. Yes, part of this video is me selling services, so sorry about that. But most leases don't allow for an early payoff. Again, read the contract. If you're leasing a truck through a trucking company, sometimes they can mislead you on how much money you're going to be making. That's another really common complaint out there. I see it in the forums, so do you. Or they'll start you off nice and fat and then slowly taper you off, especially when you get towards the end of the lease and you're hardly getting loads. You know you've heard that story, and that's a really crappy thing about the trucking industry. You guys know it better than I do, but I hear these stories every day. Guys calling me up, they want to pay off the lease with their current carrier so they can go and drive for somebody else because they're tapering them off on the loads. It's all tied into that lease, so you got to, it's one of the downsides of it. We're an independent leasing company. Here I go with my sales hat again. We're a leasing company, a financing company strictly. We're not a trucking company, so we don't have any motivation to taper you off on loads or otherwise screw you over. The good news on leasing is 100% tax write-off on the payments in most cases. Predetermined residuals. Just so accountants don't get mad at me or say that I'm giving wrong information, if and this is probably too technical than you want to get into for this, but if you preset a residual, technically it's not a lease, okay? So I don't want to confuse anybody on that. What I'm saying here when I say predetermined residuals is that if you call a predetermined lease an option, if you call the balloon an option, then it qualifies. I hope I'm not confusing you on that. But what I'm trying to point out here is that don't leave it completely open-ended as to what the residual is going to be, like a fair market value lease or something like that. They can put any number on that. So avoid that like the plague. You want to have some kind of idea what the residual is going to be. If you didn't get that, call me and I'll explain it to you. When you lease through an independent leasing company like ours, or anybody else's, if they're independent, you can haul for anybody. So you can control your destiny. You don't have to worry about people tapering off your loads. Okay? So try to do that. I glossed over some really technical stuff here, so if you guys have more questions, call me at badcredittruckleasing.com. The URL, the website's down there in the bottom. This girl needs to point at it better. And if you want clarification, I can talk to you about it. Leasing can get pretty technical. Make sure you read the contract or get somebody that, like a lawyer that knows what they're doing. OOIDA has, I believe they have an attorney referral network. You might want to check into that and let them look at what you're signing. Good advice. All right, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.